Hey, what's up? Just want to thank you guys for watching our channel. Please hit that subscribe button. The other interesting thing, well, there's a few interesting things in that Zach article that I wanted to ask you about. But the other thing was it referenced the early part of your guys' partnership and the inherent struggle in hierarchy that I think exists for all young players coming into the NBA. I witnessed it. I didn't live it because I was never that important in the hierarchy, but I witnessed it on a bunch of different teams I was on. And we use the Batman and Robin discourse all the time in sports. We use it a ton in the NBA. There have been times in your partnership with Giannis where there have been questions about who the Batman is and who the Robin is. As you guys have ascended, both as a team, partnership, individually, how has that hierarchy sort of worked? And has there ever really been a struggle about who is one, who is two?
No, there's never been a struggle about who is one and who is two between us. I mean, our first early days, we were fighting against each other every day in practice because we were just fighting for minutes, you know? So our practices used to be intense. Clawing, scratching, fouling, grabbing, all that. You've been in some of those practices, intense. But we knew one day it was going to make us better. We thought I thought I was pretty good. He thought he was pretty good, even though we probably weren't shit back then. But that's the way we trained our minds and trained ourselves. So as we got older, there was a respect that was formed and bonded between those intense practices. And then as time goes on, we're realizing like, okay, none of this matters once we get into a game. All right, we had our battles in practice. Now our job is to go out and win. So we go out and win. Whoever's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that doesn't matter. As long as we win, everything's taken care of itself. Everybody gets paid. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets to go where they want to go. That's just the way we learned.
Paul George back in March had some really, I thought, profound comments about this topic itself and hierarchy. And one of the things he said was, I realized that if I wanted to win, which I tried to do in Indy and win at the highest level, that I didn't necessarily have the means to do it. I needed a partner, and I was comfortable not taking a backseat, but you know what I mean, like not being the guy, not being the star. And I'm wondering if you've always been comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be the guy, but sometimes it's okay not being the guy. I have no problem not being the guy. Like, I know some nights is going to be my night.
Yeah.
He has no problem with that. I know a lot of nights are going to be his night. As long as we win, I'm happy. I'm good. My check's going clear. I get to choose where I want to play, hopefully stay in Milwaukee like I did. All that stuff is going to take care of itself. But that kind of like what Paul said, like, if you realize you want to win, you have to sacrifice something. So I think we've all had this mindset that at some point we got to sacrifice something within our game, within ourselves to be on a winning team. And luckily, that happened organically with us.
And this is why I think the Batman Robin thing is so dumb. Jason, by the way, I don't think the Alfred thing is dumb. I think the Alfred thing is profound. The role player. Batman and Robin, though, you're talking about two elite talents, right? And within a team sport, there are so many variables. There are so many factors in a game, in a series. I go back to 2021, right? Brooklyn's up 3-2 on you guys. You have 38 points in Milwaukee to force a game 7. Go to game 7. I rewatched the entire fourth quarter. You guys were running offense. Giannis is the screener, handoff guy, but you guys are running offense through you. You're running offense through Drew. You hit the go-ahead basket in overtime. I was at that game sitting courtside. It was one of the best games I've ever watched. Minus overtime because it was 6-2 in overtime. It was a little disappointing. I know. You guys played so fucking hard that game, and it was a game 7.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. But my point is to win at the highest level in a team sport, it is about some interchangeability and timing of who's the Batman, who's the Robin. The hierarchy, I think, is not always set in stone. You can point to teams where sometimes it is completely set in stone, and other times it's not. And I totally agree. I think to win, you have to be willing to sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, like, just to be clear, like, everybody, one of the best players in the world. Like,
yeah,
nobody's trying to say,
I'm saying Giannis is Batman, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I think Giannis is
I don't think you
Batman.
have any argument with
Please
that
don't
team.
take offense to me.
Not at all. That's what we want him to be that. We need him to be that for us to be successful. And then we all feed off that and figure out where we could pick up the slack in certain ways. But for sure, we know he's the guy. We need him to be playing great every night for us to really win.
That Game 7, was that the best game you've ever been a part of?
Yes, and also one of the most stressful games I've been a part of.
Describe the stress. What do you mean by stressful? I can intuitively understand, but what does that actually mean? How does that manifest itself?
I would say when you look back through that series, skip 1 through 4. You get to Game 5, we're up. KD goes nuts, wins the game for them. We win that game, we got a better chance to go back home and finish the series with not a lot of pressure. Now we have to win 2 games in a row, knowing that this guy can go off and do what he does again, and what type of answer we're going to have for him. So luckily we win Game 6. Game 7, I think the pressure for us was there just because it's like, okay, if we don't win this series, we don't advance to the conference finals, what happens to us as a team? So I think that was on a lot of our minds going in, which is, it sucks to say, but I think it's the business of it. It's normal. Like, nobody wants to have a team that is always there, but not crossing that line, not even getting close. So I think we were in that position until we won Game 7 and then got past Atlanta and then went to the finals. So, yeah.